In this video, we're traveling to the west coast of Costa Rica for a tour at the Casa Chameleon Hotel in Las Catalinas. We really wanted to say we had a great stay, but as you'll see, they have some issues that you should be aware of if you're considering this hotel. We'll get to those in a moment, but first, let's take a look at this stunning location. This boutique resort is perched on a cliff overlooking the Pacific Ocean. It's just under an hour by car from Liberia's International Airport and located in Costa Rica's Guanacaste province. Located in the northwestern part of the country, Guanacaste is known for its beaches and natural beauty. So what caused us to question staying at this scenic hotel with incredible sunset views? Well, join us as we check into the Casa Chameleon Las Catalinas with a full room and resort tour, and it will all become more clear. Buckle up. Welcome to Travel at Random. We're Trevor and Ryan. This channel started out of a love of travel. We're here to share unbiased and self-funded trip reports, hotel and flight reviews, and travel advice. We hope we inspire your next getaway. Check out our playlist in the description and browse the channel. If you enjoy this video, please hit that like button and subscribe to keep up with our latest content. Thank you for watching. Now, let's check into this cliffside villa. Costa Rica is known as an ecotourism destination, featuring lush jungles, breathtaking waterfalls, wildlife, and outdoor adventures. But it's also known for its amazing beaches. Perched between Sugar Beach to the south and Danta Beach to the north sits Casa Chameleon Las Catalinas Resort. The views here are stunning. That's truly the best way to describe it. The resort currently features 21 private villas, but the property is surrounded by new construction. There are 4 new residences which are nearly finished, and there are plans to add 3 additional multi-story condo buildings which will face Sugar Beach. At the time of our stay in May of 2025, they have not yet begun construction on the condo buildings. It's also good to note the resort is adults only, so it's not a family destination. All of the current villas feature king-size beds and private plunge pools. There are 3 room categories: villas with a plunge pool facing the south and overlooking Sugar Beach, sunset villas facing west and boasting elevated views over the Guanacaste coast and Catalinas Islands. This is the villa we booked. The 3rd room category is a suite villa with a plunge pool, which offers a slightly larger room. Before we get too deep into the villa and resort, we should explain Las Catalinas. We had a hard time getting a clear picture before our trip, so hopefully we can help explain what this town is. It's a planned, walkable community that mainly caters to expats and vacation home buyers. We were told the town is modeled after an old Italian village. Draw your own conclusions. When we asked one of the buggy drivers at our hotel if any locals live in Las Catalinas, he laughed, and then he quickly said no. Most staff commute 1 to 2 hours on a bus for the resort. The town has several restaurants and shops that appeal to a tourist crowd. There is a small market, but you'll find much better prices at a local supermarket about 10 minutes away by car. The restaurants at Casa Chameleon had the best reviews among the offerings in town. We nearly missed the entrance to the hotel initially, as the resort sign was partially hidden by work vehicles, but the signs for the main restaurant clued us in. There isn't much parking at the hotel, so there were often work vehicles parked along the road out front. The hotel does offer complimentary valet parking for guests. The stay started off great. We were greeted promptly and seated in the open-air reception to complete the check-in process. We were provided a welcoming fruit skewer and fresh coconut water. The process was quick. They explained that buggy service to the beach and to town was available, and you can call for the service using WhatsApp. That proved to be one of our issues, but we'll get to that momentarily. At check-in, they confirmed the hours for the dining venues and other standard check-in information. We were then shown to our room, Villa 7. The villas cling to a steep hillside, and Villa 7 is one of the lower rooms, so there were a number of steps down to it. Our bellhop powered down them in no time with our heavy bags and a cheerful smile. She was one of the highlights of the staff. The villas are 732 square feet or 68 square meters, but that must include both indoor and outdoor space because the indoor space is tight. The king-size bed faces the fantastic view through the floor-to-ceiling glass accordion doors. The room furnishings were roughly beach theme, although some decor seemed to be more African and Southeast Asian. None of the decor made any sense, and it seemed like fairly low quality stuff you'd buy at a big box home decor store. On the positive, the room was spotless, and housekeeping did a fantastic job during our entire stay. There is a wardrobe cabinet next to the bed with some hanging space, shelves, and a safe. A separate drawer unit is adjacent. The bathroom is spacious and bright with full floor-to-ceiling glass wall between the shower and the view. And the house in front of us. There were brackets for curtains, but only one of the two curtains was present. The curtain that would give you privacy while using the shower was missing. At first we thought maybe no one was at the home in front of our villa. But later in our trip, this became an issue. Add that to the list for later. There are two vanities and a half wall separating the toilet from the main bathroom. Depending on your comfort level, it's important to note that the wall between the bedroom and the bathroom does not extend above 8 feet or so. We never missed the sunrise because the light from the bathroom flooded into the bedroom every morning. The room had one other major flaw. Look around. There's absolutely nowhere to sit down. There's a large wooden trunk at the end of the bed where housekeeping stored pillows, but it was uncomfortable and not suitable to sit on, even to put on your shoes. Yes, there is seating outdoors, but there is nowhere to sit in the room. The outdoor space is large with a few seating options, a saltwater plunge pool, and a water feature. We were told it shut off from 8 p.m. to 8 a.m., but that didn't happen. The views really are the key feature of this room, until you look down at the construction staging area right outside the two lowest villas. For some reason, the hotel is throwing debris of all kinds below the bottom villas. Some of it's just garbage. If you look closely, you can even see a discarded toilet. We had really high hopes for this property, and we always want to be fair in our reviews. Casa Chameleon did not know we were filming or that we'd be posting a review. Shortly after getting settled, we decided to walk up the hill to the main venue that houses the restaurants, bar, and the hotel pool. The view up here is fantastic. We decided to go to the bar for a sunset cocktail. Upon approaching the host stand, we were asked if we had a reservation, and were quickly told they were full when we responded with no, we just got here. After some awkward silence, I went further and I said, we just checked in, and they asked us to where. We said, the hotel, this hotel. After sorting through some papers and asking for our names a few times, they found us and then offered to give us one of the tables near the bar. We later found out that this bar is popular with non-hotel guests who come for sunset. Once the staff knew we were hotel guests, they reacted differently. Unfortunately, it wasn't a great happy hour. Service was terribly slow, and we waited half an hour for drinks. There had been several little hiccups or issues that we'd run into since check-in, and coupled with the experience with the staff at the bar, we were so annoyed we actually started looking at other hotels to possibly move. We finally had drinks, although one of the drinks wasn't correct, and after signing the check, I decided to go to reception to request to speak with a manager. The staff member at the front desk just sort of stared at me, hoping a smile and a nod would be enough to end our interaction, before someone else stepped in and told them to radio for a manager. After a few minutes, and to my surprise, the food and beverage manager and the resort's chef walked into reception. I explained there were several issues with our stay and that we had just checked in. I was polite, but I wanted to address these problems since we were going to be there for 4 nights. I'm going to touch on a few of the issues, but I'll get to the full list in just a moment. The first issue was with WhatsApp. This is how the hotel wants you to communicate with them for everything from buggy rides to service requests. We were told at check-in they would ping my WhatsApp number shortly after we checked in, and they never did. We then asked 2 more times between our arrival and happy hour, and got no response. I kindly inquired again, what's the WhatsApp number? The food and beverage manager did not know it, and neither did the agent at reception. He offered me his food and beverage WhatsApp number. We had other minor issues with our room. We get into more detail later in the video, including the fact there was no in-room literature, either printed or QR code based, that provided Wi-Fi information, minibar prices, and a few other common items. We would have asked via WhatsApp, but clearly the staff weren't using that. I also pointed out how we were initially treated at the host stand and the slow drink service at the bar, and the manager apologized, saying they were having staffing and training issues. My hope by bringing up some of these issues early was that there would be a positive service recovery during the rest of our stay. That's not entirely what happened. The food and beverage team did improve and were the highlight of the hotel. The food was excellent, and the chef prepared us an off-menu appetizer that evening as an apology for the service issues we experienced. As I mentioned, there were other issues with this hotel, and we'll come back to those in a moment. But first, let's finish the tour. The resort offers 3 dining options, but you have to be persistent about that third option. Sendito Norte is the main restaurant and bar, and situated at the top of the hill. This is also where breakfast is available. The food here was outstanding, but any place that has patacones, also known as tostones or fried plantains, is a win in our book. Sendito Norte draws in a crowd from outside the resort, and the bar gets particularly busy around 5 p.m. in preparation for the sunset view. When we booked, we didn't clearly see that breakfast was included anywhere in our reservation, so we were surprised to find out that it was part of our booking. Breakfast each morning started with juice, coffee, fresh fruit, and a shared plate of pastries. Each person could also order an a la carte breakfast dish. Note, there are some upcharges for items such as specialty coffees. This is not entirely apparent from the menu, so always ask. The menu has prices on everything, so it's not entirely clear what's included. Eventually, we figured out that each person can order an entree and anything else was an upcharge. This was never brought up or explained in detail, so hopefully this helps if you're considering this resort. La Pampa Grill is open nightly for dinner and is a small dining room below Sendito Norte. It's really a basement space that they decided to add as an extra restaurant. We were the only ones there the evening that we dined. The meals here centered around a large wood-fired grill. The dining room is indoors, so if the weather isn't cooperating, it's dry and air-conditioned. So about that third option. The hotel's website lists a place called Grotto 12, offering a wine and coursed dinner experience. I asked about this prior to our stay and was never given good information about this experience. I asked again when we arrived at the hotel, and I had to press the staff multiple times before they finally agreed to book this experience for us. The Grotto is a temperature-controlled wine room below Sendito Norte. It's a beautiful space, and I'm not sure why they're not selling this feature more, because the food and the wines were fantastic. The chef did an amazing job. If the hotel doesn't want to do this experience, just tell guests that it's currently not available. I'm not sure why we were given so many conflicting answers. Alright, so those issues we alluded to, let's call them quirks, which started pretty much immediately after check-in. WhatsApp continued to be an issue, and it took us 2 days before someone finally gave us the number for reception. Upon getting to our room, the first thing we encountered was that our room safe was locked. We brought this up with the front desk and nothing. The person at the desk seemed to smile and nod before another employee chimed in and re-explained to her that it was locked, not by us, and that we could not open it. They said someone would take care of it. We left reception to go and explore the property. We thought this was a simple maintenance request. We got back to our room and it was still locked. An hour or so later, we opted to go visit Las Catalinas, the town area, and mentioned the issue on the way back to a different person. No problem. Are you headed back to your room? We'll send someone down right now. We waited around for about an hour and nothing. We gave up and decided to go to the bar for happy hour. We've already covered that experience a bit, and while it was minor, it could have been handled a bit better. We're appreciative that the hotel reserves space at Sendito Norte Bar around sunset. It certainly drew in non-guests from the surrounding area. But in a hotel with a maximum of 42 guests and a detailed log of each hotel guest at each stand, it was a rough introduction. I'll also add the bar staff were all focused on one VIP and his entourage, who were going through multiple bottles of champagne. They were not hotel guests. So back to my conversation with the food and beverage manager. Complaining to him finally got the problem with our room safe fixed. When we went back to the villa to clean up for dinner, a maintenance technician showed up, and in a matter of seconds, the problem was solved. We've stayed at boutique properties before that perform at a very high service level, so we know it's possible with good management. The next day, it became clear the issue at this hotel appears to be management. We were approached by a manager who gave us a half-hearted apology, but he started by saying, "I heard you complained about a few things last night." It was just an odd way to address a guest. To be clear, it was just a chance passing in the lobby. He didn't reach out to us at all. Now to some of the other room issues. The wonderful indoor-outdoor shower was sealed shut to keep the raccoons out. They were very upfront about this at check-in, but it's a shame that the solution was a rusty screw drilled into the tile. On the last full day, we woke up to someone on the roof terrace of the house in front of our villa, with a direct view into our shower. We brought up this privacy concern with someone in reception and was told they would work to correct this. They mentioned possibly changing rooms, but we declined that as a solution since it was our last day. They didn't follow up again. In fact, we saw that same employee multiple times that day and was never provided an update. When we saw this employee at checkout, she offered us a $150 credit for the inconvenience. We mentioned earlier the trash. With the exception of the main public areas, the hotel is not doing a good job of keeping the visible areas between the villas clean. We looked at this mess every day. In the room, the towel bar and toilet paper holders were loose and falling off the wall. The bathroom had these strange signs. We're not sure how many people are actually putting dirty toilet paper in the trash can. And in quite possibly one of the most unsanitary things we've ever seen in a hotel room, this is the jar of open swabs and makeup wipes provided in the hotel bathroom. By the minibar, the outlet for the coffee maker didn't work. Oh, and neither did the coffee maker. But we were able to get them to replace this. We never did get the minibar menu. We did eventually find the minibar pricing in an online portal they had shared before arrival. But when we asked directly about it, no one was able to guide us towards this information. It's as if the staff were unaware this information existed online. A QR code would have been a big help. Oh, and there's a switch for a fan on the outdoor patio, but alas, the fan is missing. The pool area is gorgeous, and during the day, the service was great. But the pool opens at 7 a.m., and the pool deck was never cleaned and set up for guests before 9 a.m. Oh, and at sunset, they light these torches in the pool. They look great, but the pool is technically open until 7 p.m., and there's nothing to prevent a guest from swimming into a flaming torch. We wouldn't be piling on if this was a budget-friendly hotel. But this was the most expensive hotel we looked at near Las Catalinas, at more than $600 per night. We looked at the Andas, not too far away, and that hotel was nearly $200 less per night, and is a true 4-star hotel. To us, it seems like management is the issue here. I even asked reception if there was a hotel manager, and they laughed and said yes. But I was never able to speak with a GM or anyone claiming to be in charge of the hotel. The food and beverage team were the standouts, and I give the manager credit here for working hard to try and help us out. While we saw him multiple times during our stay, he always said hello and always had a smile on his face. We really wanted to enjoy this hotel. The view is the selling feature. The reviews we had read online were mostly positive, so it's possible we just had a bad experience. Would we stay here again? No. We hope you found this review helpful. Feel free to let us know in the comments what you think. We are normally very easy, low maintenance guests, but this one was just one little thing after another. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video and made it this far, make sure to give us a thumbs up and hit subscribe. It really does help us out. Check out our other videos in our Costa Rica series. We'll see you on the next adventure.